Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. Name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today we're going to talk about the second half of the big heavyweight title picture. In this fight, we got the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, taking on Deontay Wilder, the former WBC title holder. Fury took that title from him and retained his lineal heavyweight recognition in knocking him out in February of last year. We've had a lot of drama in between this fight and now, and between the second fight and the first fight. There's a lot of history between these guys, and we're not going to go into that. But what we will talk about is what each fighter has to do adjustment-wise to come out with a victory this Saturday. Now, really, we all know and pretty much feel, I think the consensus is that the onus is on Deontay Wilder to make the most adjustments. He is the one that has come up on the short end of these fights. The first fight being a draw where, the majority of people felt Fury won. However, he was able to land that right hand of his a couple times and strike pay dirt with some knockdowns to even it up on the judges' scorecards. Second fight, he was completely undressed and dismantled by Fury and knocked out. Or the corner stopped the fight. So, yeah, technical knockout. We know how the rules go. So, what does Wilder have to do to beat Fury? And it really depends on which Tyson Fury shows up. Will he go back to the sticking and moving and kind of setting traps, or is he going to march forward and use that size to just back Deontay up? Either one, Wilder has a different task in front of him in order to be successful. And we have seen a lot of videos of him working. However, there's a long way between the cup and the lip, as they like to say. One of those old cliches, don't put the cart before the horse, all that good stuff. But the idea, if you're Tyson Fury, probably, is to go to what won you the fight in the second fight. Back Deontay Wilder up. He had success doing that in the first fight, especially in that last round after he got knocked down. And a lot of people thought the fight was over when he got knocked down, but he got up, fought back hard, and was able to, in a lot of people's eyes, kind of steal that round, or at least even it up numerically, because, you get that point deduction for the knockdown. So in the second fight, Fury goes straight to him. Hard, strong jab, using his weight, and pretty much bullied Deontay Wilder because he never really had the fight backing up. In previous fights, people always tried to outbox him because we know his boxing fundamentals leave a lot to be desired. However, that leaves you open for that really long right hand, and he landed it on a lot of people. Those people went down hard. So Fury, by backing him up, made Wilder not able to get a strong base, not able to get a strong balance, not able to get that full snap and extension on that right hand that Wilder typically needs in order to score those devastating knockouts. So Wilder should perhaps have been working on moving out of the way. So lateral movement. If he can get Tyson Fury to feint or throw a punch out of position, he steps laterally, throws that right hand. We know he has the power to hurt and drop anybody that he punches. And that's one of the ways he can do it. Another way is to land an authoritative jab to make sure that Fury does not want to come in. Now, Fury is a lot bigger than Deontay Wilder. I think he's got a good 40 to 50 pounds on him. So that's going to be a tall order. In order for Wilder to land that type of authoritative, hard jab, he's going to have to like step into it, meet Fury in the middle, and back him up, or land that hard jab and use that lateral movement that I was speaking of just a moment ago. That's really going to be the key. I think that lateral movement is going to be really, really key for Wilder. He's got to be able to. He can't go straight forward and he can't go straight back. He is going to have to use those angles. He's going to have to move to the side and not let Fury reset once he does. If he does happen to back up and get to those ropes, he has to swing out, and as Fury's turning around, he has to fire. He can't let Fury just turn around, reset, and then just start marching him down again. We saw how well that went in the second fight. Spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the fight, not well at all. So in order for Wilder to really do this, he has to stay disciplined. I know if you watch the preview video that Rob and I did before the second fight, we were talking about how long Tyson Fury will be able to keep up that forward pressure that he had considered applying prior and told everybody that he was going to do prior to the fight. We thought that, once Wilder hit him a few times, he would abandon that and go back to, being on his toes. Wilder was never able to land that hard shot because he was never able to get that balance. Even if he kind of steps and fires, if he's going backwards, he's got to get those legs under him and keep them under him in order to get the balance and get that leverage to throw those shots that we know he can throw. So, like I said, we're talking about a tall task here. And I brought that up because now with Wilder making all these changes, working with a new trainer, does he stay disciplined enough to maintain whatever game plan that they made up once Tyson Fury hits him? Say it's not successful in the first couple rounds. Does he go back to what he is known to do? Or does he stick to the game plan and try to see it out? Does he, try to use another strategy and him and his coach make an adjustment to whatever Fury brings to the table in order to win? Those are the real questions that we have in this fight. And honestly, until he shows it, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. It took several years of Wilder to, really start getting those fundamentals down, and then he changed up his training team. So that, this may have been the spark he needed, or it may be too little too late. We won't know until they get in the ring. And as the shirt said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Shout out to Iron Mike, one of the most electrifying sports entertainers in the history of boxing. So what do you all think? Do you think Tyson Fury pulls it off again? Does he, retreat Wilder back to the contender status? Does Wilder regain the throne and then become the heavyweight champion of the world with Alexander Usyk sitting out there with 3 belts? How do you guys see this going? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Who you think is going to win, how you think they're going to win. Do you think this goes the distance or not? I'm banking it doesn't. I think if Tyson employs that strategy again, it doesn't go the distance either way. Either he gets caught or he wears Wilder out again. So I'm thinking this doesn't go past 9 rounds. And I think it'll be entertaining up until the end of that fight. So we're really going to be watching to see how Deontay Wilder learns from adversity. A lot of people have shouted him out for taking this fight and wanting this fight, like being adamant about only fighting Tyson Fury. when there were other options out there. There were other opportunities for Fury, and he said, no, you're not going to fight anybody but me, and either you're going to prove to me that you're better, or I'm going to right this wrong. And we'll find out Saturday. I know the picks for this fight have been all over the place also. I watched a video where Teddy Atlas spent like 30 minutes trashing Deontay Wilder and then picked him to win. A lot of the fighters are split on this one, and I think the public is too. I'm like I said, I think Fury gets it done again. So you let me know what your pick is. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Capital of Combat. Make sure you follow us on those social media platforms. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, fight on.
Round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.